Hey Kevin, this is Brent Porcio here. I'm going to take you through your delivery. I'm going to pair you up with Bob Wheatley. Bob here's 90 plus. He was more like 90 to 92, left side. We'll take you both out of your leg lift. Okay. So similar here. I'd say Bob's moving a little bit more forward and down. So like if you look at where his head is, he's farther off the rubber. Your head is closer to the rubber. So you're leaning back as you move forward. So you want to lead with your hip, but don't counter so far back with your head. So it's like if you watch Bob here, you can see as he comes out of leg lift, his hips push forward and his trunk stays just behind. You can see when you come out of leg lift here, your hips push forward and your trunk stays, your trunk more quickly shifts back to your foot as your hip goes forward. So you hold a little bit farther back. Not only that, you lean inwards. You're leaning towards the camera and Bob is keeping his trunk upright. Leaning towards the camera, you're going to put yourself in a position if you stay here to landing where you're going to have to correct and bring your trunk back up and bring your slots up, your arm slot. You're going to have to pull across your body and we're going to be more rotational. So y'all are similar positions here. It's just, like I said, Bob's in a more vertical trunk orientation. So let's see how y'all drive into landing. So here you are at landing. Here he is at landing. Okay. So you can see he's much more trunk delayed. And that's supported by that, what we call contralateral trunk, the trunk staying more upright. You've seen the hips are starting to come around and the trunk is still back. We see with you, you're keeping your shoulders closed and your hips are coming around. The problem is your foot is still on the rubber, so it still hasn't gotten off. His has gotten off. So you're not as explosive as he is. And it's hard to be explosive too when you're leaning towards the camera because it makes it hard to push your hips around. And then the only other issue is your arm is still internally rotated. His is fully externally rotated. Your arm is internally rotated when it needs to be like his, because your trunk is actually farther ahead than his, which means your arm is going to have to move in external rotation quicker, but yours is more delayed to externally rotate. So you're put in a position where you can get caught dragging your arm. So you can see as your trunk now, your glove tucks, your trunk starts coming around, you're hyperangulated. So hyperangulated means your elbow, when your trunk opens, your elbow is behind your back. If you watch Bob, see right when his trunk opens up, look where his elbow is. It's right there by his ear. This is healthy. This is not. So you got to go back to where you were leaning inward back here. Leaning inward as you pulled your arm up and back forced you to delay external rotation, because if you would have externally rotated like Bob did, your arm would have flown open. So you're trying to hold your arm back here, but to do it, you're risking your arm because it's causing you to drag your arm. So we got to work on the trunk orientation to fix that and trying to get more powerful with the drive, because this is concerning. If you start throwing, 85, 90, you're going to start having real arm pain, potentially severe arm injury. So I'm concerned about that. So if you want to talk more about injury, I can help you with it, or injury concerns. See, here it syncs up and you got a good forward trunk, maybe even a little better than Bob. And the problem is you don't keep moving forward. He keeps moving forward. So your arm delay caused your trunk to stop prematurely as well. And that's why you don't finish as forward as Bob. Okay. So that's basically, it's a sequencing issue. Your sequencing of your upper body due to the poor posture is out of sync, and then it causes disruption at the end, even points where it puts you at high risk of injury. So We need to work on that. The posture is the key. The leg power is the key. And trying to make strides in that. Obviously in the program, we work on all that, all the drills, put us in positions to where we can focus more on contralateral tilt. Ideally, I don't know if you have it, but the trunk accelerator was built to prevent this. See, with the trunk accelerator, it won't let your arm do that. So what'll happen is you'll throw with the trunk accelerator and it will just tank your velocity and force you to improve the sequence and improve the trunk posture to get your velocity back. So it's a way of protecting your arm and forcing you to improve before you start pushing your velocities up again.